The Rambling Geordie.
Evening all. Welcome to the UK 2026, where the government isn't just watching your telly, it's rewriting your algorithm, scanning your face for cat videos, and making sure your election tweets are balanced, like a BBC panel with its one token dissenter. George Orwell wrote 1984 as a warning. Our leaders read it as a user manual. Let's break down 3 fresh chapters in this digital dystopia: the YouTube prominence regime, Andy Burnham's VPN crusade, and the push to police election chat on social media. All in the name of safety, trust, and protecting democracy. Because nothing says freedom like the state deciding what you're allowed to see. Remember when YouTube was the Wild West of creators? Blokes in sheds ranting about everything from flat earth to flat pack furniture. Those days are well and truly gone. So in June this year, the government dropped its media green paper called Watch This Space. It proposes a prominence regime forcing platforms like YouTube and TikTok to boost content from public service media, i.e. BBC, ITV, Channel 4, the works, in searches, recommendations and feeds. Trusted news from these legacy outfits must appear higher up. Special rules could kick in during social unrest or crisis. Here we go. And why are they doing that? Well, because algorithms are scary and they might show people things that aren't on the approved list, like, say, unfiltered footage from the Southport riots or questions about why the government handled X, Y or Z badly. Best we make sure you see the beeb first, for your own good. YouTube launched #KeepYouTubeYours, warning it would stifle independent creators. Critics called it state-sponsored algorithmic rigging. Nigel Farage said it was censorship dressed up as media literacy. I mean, imagine searching, why is everything expensive? And getting pushed to BBC explainers on the complex global factors instead of some lad with a whiteboard showing you actual numbers. Or during a crisis, your feed fills with trusted voices like citizen journalists getting buried. Independent voices, the ones that actually break stories or challenge power. So what are the implications of this? Well, independent voices, or the ones that actually break stories and challenge power, they're going to get throttled. Platforms will face pressure or future fines under the Online Safety Act to comply. So what's the result? A curated internet where misinformation is whatever the algorithm and the government leaning on it doesn't like. Classic Orwell. The Ministry of Truth didn't ban books outright. It just made sure the approved ones were the ones you could easily find. Now for the kids. The government wants to ban under 16s from social media, or at least enforce strict age gates. Noble goal, right? Protect the little ones from porn, self-harm content, and whatever else the Online Safety Act deems harmful. The problem is, kids are clever. They use VPNs to bypass age checks and geo-blocks. So what's the solution? Enter Andy Burnham, Greater Manchester Mayor and Labour heavyweight, obviously the next PM by the way. He's vowed to carry on Sir Keir Starmer's plans. So Tech Secretary Liz Kendall has promised an update on the VPN restrictions in July 2026, and reports and leaks point to ideas like requiring digital ID verification to even use a VPN. Because, we can't have children dodging our safety measures with sneaky foreign VPNs, so we'll make everyone show ID to use one. It's for the children, you see. Now, picture this, you're 14, trying to watch a band video or just talk to your mates without the algorithm knowing your exact location and interests. You fire up a VPN, pop-up appears, please verify with digital ID, facial scan or passport upload. Suddenly, you're just not anonymous anymore, are you? The state knows you're trying to see the bad stuff. And don't get us wrong, I'm not advocating for kids to be able to look up porn or anything like that. But here's the thing, all you got to do is let the parents parent their kids. That's all you have to do. Anyway, we know that's no good to this government because they want a nanny state. They want kids to grow up thinking that all their problems can be solved by the government. So what are the implications of this? Well, privacy dies quietly. VPNs exist precisely to protect anonymity, bypass censorship and dodge surveillance. Forcing ID turns them into state-approved tunnels. Journalists, whistleblowers, domestic abuse victims, or just people who like their browsing history private. Tough. No joy anymore, I'm afraid. So during unrest, the government could know exactly who was researching certain topics. Kids might just move to even dodgier corners of the web, Tor or encrypted apps, while normal adults lose a basic privacy tool. All while the same platforms pushing safety harvest more data for compliance. It's the telly screen in your pocket, but you have to pay a subscription and scan your face to turn it on. And finally the big one, controlling what people say about elections on social media. So Labour's Deputy Leader Lucy Powell, who's a close Burnham ally and is probably tipped to be the next Deputy Prime Minister, she's pushed to amend the Representation of the People Bill. What a great name that is, eh? She wants social media platforms to face legal duties during election periods similar to broadcasters. So think Ofcom style impartiality rules, codes of practice against misinformation, bots and foreign interference. Platforms would have to tackle falsehoods more aggressively in the run-up to votes. Algorithms that amplify toxic content, her word for X under Elon Musk, would face scrutiny. So I love how vague that term is. Toxic content. What does that mean? Well, content that she doesn't like. It's as simple as that. So unlike regulated TV, social media lets anyone say anything. We need rules so the public gets balanced information, especially when foreign actors or bots are involved. I mean, it's just, you can imagine her saying that sort of stuff, can't you? What an absolute joke that woman is. So, during the campaign, you post a meme calling the Prime Minister a numpty. Misinformation reduced reach. That's what it'll say. Share a video of a politician saying something daft. Context added by trusted fact-checkers. Organise a protest or criticise policy too sharply. The platform will flag it as harmful to democratic discourse. Meanwhile, the government's own messaging gets a prominence boost from Part 1. So foreign interference is a perfect excuse to sweep broadly. Remember, disinformation is often in the eye of the regulator. So what are the implications of this? Well, free and open debate, or the lifeblood of elections, gets completely scrapped. Platforms terrified of fines under the Online Safety Act or new election rules will completely over-censor everyone. Legitimate criticism becomes misinformation, opposition voices get throttled, while the establishment ones rise with no censorship at all. So it's not banning speech outright, but it's making platforms enforcers of approved discourse, approved by the government, of course. It's doublethink at its finest. We're protecting democracy by limiting what you can see about it. So there you are. The government is building a whole new system where YouTube pushes state-favoured media, which absolutely cripples the smaller guys like me. VPNs might require a digital ID, and election talk gets balanced by regulators and platforms, all wrapped in a cosy blanket of protecting children, fighting misinformation and safeguarding democracy. I mean, the implications are fucking grim but totally predictable. There'll be less privacy, less independent information, more self-censorship, a two-tier internet, approved content for the masses, where everything else is buried or risky to access. So what do you think? Is it Orwellian? Well, absolutely it is. In 1984, the party controlled the past by rewriting history and the present by controlling language and screens. Here, they control the future by controlling what bubbles up in your feed, what you can access privately, and what counts as acceptable debate during the one time citizens are supposed to choose their leaders freely. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, this is overreach on a massive scale, and it's not like we haven't seen this coming. It's an absolute joke, but hey ho, this is what happens when you vote in these kinds of parties, isn't it? So my advice, stay vigilant and make sure you fill in the YouTube's survey that they've sent out to people. Not that it's going to do a lot, don't get me wrong, but at least have your say anyway. If you enjoyed that, consider subscribing to the channel and keep your eye out for my next video coming soon. Cheers.
Don't be daft, man.